Hello, magnificent human beings. My name is Landon with Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. What are we going to do today? It is Full Class Friday, and this is titled How to Open Up Your Hips, because we're doing pigeon pose, specifically half pigeon. You will need a block. If you don't have a block, that is fine. A little stack of blankets, some towels, whatever it may be, something to help prop you up. Now, we are going to do lots of things other than pigeon. This is a full class, and we're going to do fire log. We're going to do lots of hamstring stuff to really get into those hips. So if that is what you're looking for, this is the 55-minute class for you. Please roll out your mat, and I will roll the intro screen. Thank you so much for being here. Please find yourself in a seated position, comfortable seated position, lotus, crisscross, applesauce, whatever you wish. Roll your shoulders back, eye gaze forward, close your eyes, and breathe. Steady, calming, relaxing breaths in through your nose, out through your nose. Allow an intention to manifest for your practice today. Something soothing, something gentle, something uplifting, something calming, whatever you like. And sealing our intention, let's do 3 cleansing breaths. In through your nose, inhale, 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 inhale. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale through the nose, inhale, inhale, fill your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale out the mouth. Once more. Inhale through your nose. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale out the mouth. Very good. Open up your eyes. Swing your legs on around. Staff pose. Bob your knees. Shake your feet out a little bit. Just a brief staff posture here, and seated forward bend. So inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold on down. Now, if you cannot bring your forehead to your shins and keep a straight back, which is most of us, bend your knees. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. We really want to target our hamstrings because pigeon is about a lot of things, opening up your hips, but your hips also have to do with your hamstrings and your glutes and your low back. But we want to focus on our hamstrings just for now. So kind of move those heels out maybe a little bit. And wherever you can feel that stretch in your hamstrings is what we're looking for. And release. Left heel, bring it on in. Square up your shoulders with the front. Walk your hands out, grabbing for your shin wherever you like. Janu Shirshasana, our seated forehead to knee. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold. And release, come on back. Go ahead and pick up your knee. And then this foot, cross it over and hug your knee on in. So we're actually just going for a stretch in this left glute here. So you may need to roll your shoulders back, lengthen your spine. Maybe you hinge, tilt that torso back just a little bit. Wherever it is for you, finding that stretch in your glute as best as you can. And setting it on down. Keep a firm grasp by holding this knee on in. Left hand comes on around. Gentle twist. Kind of a modified half Lord of the Fish pose. Inhales, lengthen your spine. Exhales, help you come on back. Release. Unravel. Bob your knees, shake it out. Okay, right heel this time. Bring it on in. And square your shoulders with the front. Come on down. If you need to put a little bend in your knee, that's fine. Seated forehead to knee on this next side. Remember, inhales lengthen your spine. Exhales help you fold, trying to find that stretch in your hamstring as best as you can. But you may start to feel it in your low back, which is awesome as well. Release. Very good. Okay, go ahead and pick up your knee, cross your foot over, and hug your knee on in. Roll your shoulders back, tall spine, doing your best to find that stretch in your glute. Set it on down. Keep a good grasp with your left elbow. Right hand comes around behind you. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist, spiral your right shoulder open towards the back of the studio. And come on back. Take this foot, bring it on out, unravel, bob your knees, shake it out. Very good. Okay, roll over your knees, coming on forward into a tabletop. Fingertips spread wide. Shoulders directly above your wrists. Hips directly above your knees. Cat-cows. Inhale, look up. Drop your belly. Eye gaze lifts. Hold right here in your cow. Don't move. Exhale. Inhale. Now exhale, move through into cat. Hold in your cat. Don't move. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, move through into cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Find yourself in a neutral spine. Your elbows, lower them down to where your palms are on the mat. Tuck your back toes and bring your hips back towards your glutes. Gentle puppy pose, stretching out your shoulders a little bit. Three breaths. Breathe. Okay, from here, keep your hands and your feet exactly where they are, coming into downward facing dog. Pedal it out, walk it out, move around. Okay, getting loose. So inhale, left leg, three-legged. Exhale, bring it through into lunge. Flowing with our breath a little bit. Inhale, hands up. And crescent lunge, exhale. Relax your shoulders. Keep with your breath, keep with your focus. Inhale, hands, reach them up. Exhale, bring them all the way down. Then right leg, inhale up, inhale it up for forward fold. And you exhale, relax, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chin is last to rise, coming all the way up. Hands up overhead, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, swan dive, fold all the way down. Fingertips on the mat. Left leg comes back for a brief lunge. And right leg comes back. Downward facing dog. Shift your right forward into a plank. Lower onto your knees. Heels to your glutes. Just lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Raise on up, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Kind of skipping the whole chaturanga thing, because since we're really going to be focusing on those hips and hamstrings, kind of maybe leaving a little bit of the arm strength stuff out of today's class, which is fine. It will always be there. Okay, so right leg, inhale, three-legged, exhale, bring it through into lunge. Inhale, hands up overhead, crescent lunge, breathe. Hands, inhale them up. Exhale, bring them all the way down to the mat. Left foot steps up. Forward fold, and then exhale, relaxing in your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, Forward fold. And slow, 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 coming all the way up. Hands up overhead, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, fold all the way down, forward fold. Hands on the mat, right leg comes back, brief lunge, and downward facing dog. Shift forward into that plank, lower onto your knees, heels to your glutes with control, lower all the way down to the mat. And raise on up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Okay, so go ahead and bring your left foot through, base of your lunge, and hands up overhead, full crescent lunge. Bring your hands onto your hips. Okay, keep your right knee stacked on top of this ankle, but inch your back foot back. So maybe you need to bring your fingertips down to inch it back a little bit. And then coming into that lunge. So we want a nice deep lunge, opening up those hips. Breathe. Maybe tilting your torso back just a little bit. Hold, breathe. Hands down on the mat. Downward facing dog. Very good. Okay, right foot, same thing. Bring it through and hands, come on up, crescent lunge. Hands on your hips. Okay, remember, bring your back foot back. So if you need to bring your hands down just a little bit, that's fine. Bring it back, bring it back. And when you come up, you still want this knee stacked on top of your ankle. But we want a really deep lunge here. Breathe, focus. Maybe tilting your torso towards the back of the studio a little bit. And bring it on down. Downward facing dog. Oh. Walk it out. Getting a little twisty, if you wish. Always grabbing a sip of water anytime you like. Feet walk all the way up. Forward fold, relax. Chin is the last to rise, coming all the way up. Hands up, overhead, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, let it go. Relax. Shake it out, move around. Okay, brief standing series before we start to really get into those hips. So hands on your hips. Left ankle, just kind of kickstand it here at first. Right hand, right hip, left hand, inner left thigh, and pull this leg on back. So hips are square. Bring your leg back. Awesome. So opening those hips from the front, right? This is kind of what tree is about, is keeping that opening from our hips. And hands come on up. If you want, bring it on up. Keep with your breath, keep with your focus, gazing out into infinity and beyond. Keeping with your focus, your balance. Probably not flailing your arms around. But if you do, that's fine. It's cool. Just stay with it. 2 more breaths. And release. Shake it out, kick it out. Okay, next side. Hands on your hips, right ankle. Just kind of kickstand it here on the inside. And I think we often too kind of like come up into this amplified version right away in our tree, and we don't really need to do that because, I really think tree is a hip opener from the front. So that's why I encourage everybody to kind of use this hand to help hinge your leg on back, lengthen out of that low back, roll your shoulders back. Just focusing on this opening in your hip first. So and bring your foot on the inside of that calf if you want to lift it up. If not, if you want to leave it down, that's cool too. And growing your branches as you please. How's your intention, your focus? Stay with it. And release. Shake, kick, move it out. Very good. Okay. Now, next, brief eagle, but we're just going to do the arms portion of our eagle, kind of saving our legs and everything for later. Bring your hands up, left elbow into your sternum. Okay, left elbow in at your sternum. Right comes on top of your left, and then just wrap your arms around. A couple little shoulder stretches. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Softly release. Shake out your arms. Okay, both hands up overhead. Right elbow in at your sternum, left on top of right. Wrap your arms around. Inhale, elbows up. Exhale, relax. Inhale them up. Exhale, relax. Release. Shake it out. So if you're wondering, I thought this was a class about hips. What's going on with all this arm stuff? Well, your body is one unit. Everything is connected. So unless we kind of tap in briefly to everything else, it's not going to do us much good to focus on only one area. So it's good to get this kind of whole body flow in. But it is time to actually get into those hips now. So inhale, hands up, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, brief back bend. Inhale up. Exhale, fold all the way down, forward fold. Fingertips on the mat. Downward facing dog. Okay, left knee, left wrist. So bring your left knee on the inside of your wrist here. Untuck your back toes. And sitting into your pigeon. All right, now we're going to be here not for too long because we're going to do this again, but in a different way. If you did not watch Wednesday's class, please, I encourage you to check out Wednesday's portion of the class because we're going to do something I talked about, which is a bottom-up method versus a top-down method. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it doesn't matter because we're going to do it right now. So your back foot, make sure it's nice and straight. This knee, make sure it is directly in front of your hip. So don't have it flared out here. Genuinely look down and bring it in front of your hip and square your hips with the front. Okay, walk your hands back. So you're sitting high up in your pigeon. Awesome job. Holding right here. Now, if your butt is off of the ground, good. That's fine. That's kind of what we want. Don't worry about your shin, okay? Leave it where it is. If you can bring it out a little bit, that's fine, but we don't really need to at the moment. So, keep with your breath. Okay, we are going to help get our groin and our glutes closer down to the mat. So inhale, push it directly up. Exhale, sink straight down. Don't hinge, sink straight down. And as you do this, you might need to move this back foot back a little bit. Inhale, push it directly up. Exhale, sink straight down. Once more, inhale, push up. Exhale, sink straight down. Okay, very good. Now, from this point, don't lift up, don't, do anything too crazy. Just envision that you have a rod through your hips here, like a steel rod that like you can't go up or down. You can only swivel, you can only hinge from this point. Gently, gently come on down. Nice, deep pigeon. Stay with your breath. Breath extremely important. Breathe. Stay with it. Right here. Relax. Okay. Slow, slow. Come back up. And then just slouch onto your left glute. Just a little bit. Now bring your shin so it's parallel with the top of the mat. Your back foot, bring it all the way around. Stacking our legs for our fire log pose. So right ankle on top of your left knee. Fire log. Okay, so oftentimes we have a tendency to kind of slouch over in our fire log. So let's lift this knee if that is happening. And as you breathe, seek to lower your knees down at the same rate. And if you have that block, you can place it under this lifted knee. And that will do wonders for isolating kind of the opposite hip over here. So keep with your breath. So hips are a very intense aspect of our yoga practice, of our bodies, of everything. Lots of, emotions can be stored in your hips, and it's not, too uncommon for people to kind of have big releases here in your yoga practice, especially when we're getting into those hips. So breath is important. Breathe. Okay. Very slowly release by swinging this leg all the way back around into the base of your pigeon. Find yourself kind of in a more neutral position here, and tuck your back toes, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, move around. walking it out, shaking it out. Okay, next side. Right knee comes in on the inside of your right wrist. Untuck your back toes. Okay, do all of your checks, right? Right knee directly in front of your right hip. Your back foot is nice and straight. And again, if you can bring the shin pretty far out, that's fine, but you need to keep your hips square as you possibly can. So if that means bringing your heel in, that's totally fine. So, holding here, walk your hands back so you're sitting up tall in your pigeon. We're going to help to get our groin, kind of glutes, closer down to the mat. So inhale, push it directly up. Exhale, sink straight down. And as you do so, you may begin to move this back foot back a little bit. Remember, keep your hips square. Inhale. Exhale. Sink straight down. Once more, inhale, push it up. Exhale. Sink straight down. Okay. And now, go ahead and walk out your hands slow. Remember, only hinging here at your hips. Coming on down. Releasing, relaxing. Nice deep pigeon breath. Huge, massive breaths right now. Just breathe. You've got it. And it's weird because we really start to get into our hips, right? And we hold like tension in our groin and our hips and, our glutes in that area because we're thinking, oh no, if I let go, I'm going to fall. Well, you're on the mat already. You're not going to fall any farther. So relax. It's okay. Breathe. Calm. Slow, slow, come back up. And then slouching onto your right glute. And then bring this right shin up so it is parallel with the top of your mat. And swing your back leg all the way around, getting set up for our 90-90. Keep your feet flexed because this will help protect your knee joints. So feet are flexed. Breathe, seeking to lower your knees down at the same rate. A block is very helpful because then it starts to isolate kind of this other hip over here. Hands by your sides, tall spine. Close your eyes. Just breathe. 90-90 fire log pose. I think I learned 90-90, which kind of makes sense because it, looks like these weird stacked kind of, right angles on top of one another. But fire log is the more ubiquitous term. So, breathe. Maybe in your mind's eye, traveling into your hips. Releasing, relaxing that tension, whatever it may be, letting it go. Okay, remove the block. And then go ahead and take this foot, bring it all the way back around, coming back into the base of your pigeon. Tuck your back toes and letting it go. Downward facing dog. Pedal it out, move around. Shake it out. All right. Knees lower down to the mat. Untuck your toes. Sitting back on your heels. Brief thunderbolt. Palms on your thighs. Roll your shoulders back. And let's just take a few breaths. So lots of intense stuff through our hips because we're going to go back through this again in a different way. So just breathe. Take a rest. Close your eyes. Relax. Very good. Okay. Tabletop position. Walk your hands on out. And in your tabletop, sway, move around a little bit. Left foot, bring it in between your hands. This is the base of a modified lunge. And we want to take this foot and bring it out in front of us. Keep it going, coming into your monkey pose. And I say the word splits because that's what this is. And people freak out. They're like, I can't do the splits. Well, neither can I. It doesn't matter. But we're going to try. Bring it forward, bring it forward. You want to find the balance of where you feel the stretch here in your hamstring and where you feel it over here in this front hip flexor. You may not feel it in either or one or the other, but try to find the balance where you're feeling it kind of equally in both. So bringing this foot out as far as it will come. Keep your hips square, so don't flare this back hip out. Still keeping everything nice and square as best as you can. It helps to make fists, to bring them onto the mat, to kind of like take some of the tension out of your wrists. Okay, wherever you are, breathe, stay with it. Okay, find your block, find your stack of blankets, whatever it is. Have it ready to place underneath your left glute here. This shin, your left shin, bring it so it is perfectly parallel with the top of the mat. So you're going to need to heel toe this foot across. And awesome. So perfectly parallel. Bring your block, set it underneath you. Maybe you need to prop it up really high, kind of high, whatever it is for you. So I'm kind of placing the block underneath my leg here, which is fine for now, but you're going to have to move it back just a little bit eventually. Okay. So we're coming into our pigeon, doing this from kind of a top-down strategy, if you will. And what I mean by that is we're going to put ourselves in the stereotypical best alignment possible, but you need, oftentimes some kind of blocks or props to make this happen. So doing your checks, the first important thing is that this shin is perfectly parallel with the top of the mat. Next is that your hips are square. So here's the balance, right? If you bring this perfectly parallel with the top of the mat and this hip starts to flare up, then you may need to raise up your block even higher, or your stack of blankets, whatever it is for you. Next thing is this knee is directly in front of your hip. So don't have it way out here, don't have it, far over there. And you're going to notice your foot may even come off your mat a tiny bit, and that's fine. Okay, hips are square. So this is the whole top-down strategy. All right, back foot is straight. Things look pretty good. And then from here, start to hinge forward. So you'll notice that as you come deeper and deeper, things will relax maybe a little bit more. Maybe, it takes time. And the strategy is that you're propping yourself up on your block, right? But you can lower the block down just a little bit. Still keep your hips square. Still keep that back foot straight. And remember, my hips are off right now, right? Because I'm kind of favoring. Really try to keep your hips as square as you can as you hinge down. So sometimes this advanced part of the posture isn't accessible to people, so it's good to have these blocks and these props to give us a little mental roadmap of where to go in our practice and how we're going to progress. So very good. Okay, bring yourself back up and tuck your back toes, downward facing dog. Pedal it out, shake it out, move around. Walk it out. Kick it out. Okay, right foot. Or actually, come into a tabletop first. We're going to come into it the same way. Shake it out, whack it out, move around. Okay, right foot, place it in between your hands. And from here, heel toe this foot up, straight up into your monkey pose, your splits. Okay, in your splits, once more, finding the balance between where the stretch is in this hamstring over here, and then where you feel it in this kind of front hip flexor part. Wherever that is for you, breathe. It's a lot, I know. Stay with it. Class is coming soon to an end, but we still have to do that other pigeon. Okay, have your block ready. Heel toe your foot over. Make sure your shin is parallel with the top of the mat here. Back foot is straight and right knee in front of your right hip. All right. Remember trying to keep your hips as square as you can. It's intense, I know. Okay. From here, slowly, slowly coming down. If you notice one hip is tighter than the other, then congratulations, you're human. This is normal. But breathe through it. It's okay. Keep with your balance. Stay breathing, stay here in your pigeon. So again, in this sort of top-down strategy where we're in this stereotypical perfect pigeon alignment, your goal will be to drop your block or, bring your prop down lower and lower each time. So that way, eventually, we kind of meet in the middle, if that makes sense, because before we had no block and, your heel was relatively back further. So in this process, you kind of meet in the middle from the bottom up strategy, from which is where we typically kind of do our pigeon, and then the top down, you kind of find that happy medium. So in the original kind of like bottom up method, you want to slowly bring your heel out. So your shin becomes eventually parallel with the top. So let's say, eventually one day you're here with your glute, perfectly on the ground. And then in the top up strategy, you're all the way here. And eventually one day it will meet. Like you will be able to have your groin, your glutes on the mat, and then just freely pull your leg up all the way into the splits. It can happen. Okay, come on up. And downward facing dog. Tuck your back toes, bring it back. Oh, pedal it out. Move around. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. I know. Shake it out, kick it out. Shift forward into a plank and lower all the way down to the mat. Release, relax. Roll onto your back for our first Shavasana. Feet fall out. Arms fall out. Just relax. Just breathe. Swing your legs back and forth, bob your knees. Okay. Knees to chest pose. Simply just bring them on in. Sway them back and forth. Nothing serious, maybe just drawing little circles here. Interlace your fingers and don't use any leg strength. Just relax your legs and kind of let your arms hold them in place. Lots of work on our hips, but it's good. And place your feet down on the mat. Keep your knees together, but separate your feet gently. You can release your arms, just breathe. Relax your legs, no need to squeeze them together. Maybe you need to separate your feet farther apart, but really you want your legs to just be in a relaxed, passive state. Heel toe your feet together and bring your legs on out. Final Shavasana. Release, relax, breathe. In through your nose, out through your nose. A few breaths here in your Shavasana to really soak it in, relax, calm. All those things we did today in our practice. Truly enjoy this time. Be here now. Relax. Letting everything marinate. Listening to the sound of your breath. Choosing to breathe it out, relax and calm in your Shavasana, or if you wish, pushing yourself on up, meeting me in that seated position. Thank you all so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. You are a magnificent human being. You are in the right place, capable and strong. If you found this video of value, save it to a playlist or share it. Thumbs up, a comment, whatever you wish. Let me know what you think of the top-down, bottom-up method. Check out Wednesday's class too. That has lots of details about really how to get into your Pigeon. I love you guys. Thank you so much from my heart to yours. Namaste.